Hey everyone, Mr. Gray 3IS here, and I am back with another video. First off, Happy New Year's everyone. I hope 2022 was everything you had ever hoped for. My 2022 was pretty great. I progressed a lot personally within social media. I've gained so much more support from all of you guys. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for me, for real. And let's make 2023 a great year. I hope to have a lot of cool things in store for 2023, and this is gonna be one of them. This is the first to hopefully many. As you might be able to tell right away, I am holding my phone this video because I'm going to do a lot of close-up shots and putting my phone down, so no gimbal this time, unfortunately. But I'll use the gimbal to record my next video, definitely. All right, so in this video, as you might be able to tell by the title, we're going to be installing side skirts, new ones actually. I have some on here already, but I am interested in a different style of side skirts, and they're the ones I'm going to install. Here they are. So as you might be able to tell, I do paint all of my parts myself. These are probably one of the best jobs I've done on painting a part. You know, you progress over time with painting, you kind of learn as you go, and these are pretty good. I really like how they turned out, and I'm excited to install them. These are the AR style side skirts, and as you might be able to tell, I have the AR rear spats, the front lip, the rear diffuser, and what's missing? This side skirt. So I do like these side skirts that I have on here a lot, but like I said earlier, I just want to switch it up, see if these ones will give it a little different vibe, a little different look, start 2023 a little bit different. And I'm excited to show you guys how to install them. So how I'm going to explain this process, it's just the slightest bit different because I'm going to be taking my OEM side skirt off and my aftermarket one that I have on there, but I'm going to try and explain this as if you don't have any side skirts on there whatsoever. So the gist of what's going to happen is we're going to take off the OEM side skirt, that entire part that runs along here, and we're going to use nuts and bolts and attach the side skirt. You can use self-tappers, and that's totally fine. I'm just more of a nut and bolt guy, and washers, because I know it's not going to go anywhere. Even if you do want to use self-tappers, I do still recommend taking off the side skirt so you can kind of see where you're shoving those screws into and you're not hitting anything vital. But pretty much it's going to be the same process no matter how you want to install your side skirt, and it is fairly simple. Oh my gosh, this carbon is just shining in my face. Okay, my step one is I'm going to put my car up on some wooden ramps that I made because it is a little low to work under right now, and having it up on the ramps will just make it a little easier to get to everything I need to. And if y'all are curious, what I'm using for ramps is I have pretty much two pieces of wood that are angled at 45 degrees stacked onto each other. This one is 1 foot long and this one is 3 feet long. In the front I have 2x8s, in the rear I have 2x10s because that's how wide the tire is. So I'm going to go ahead and drive this up on the ramps, and I'll get to showing you how to take off the side skirts. All right, she's up on all fours, much taller from the ground now, actually about 3 inches taller. And taking off these side skirts are pretty simple. There's one bolt here which can be undone by a 10 mil or a Phillips head. There are about 6 pop clips underneath, and there is one more bolt just like the front back here, and there are 2 screws within the door. I'm going to actually switch to a clip from my fender install video where I kind of show each and every step of that, because I know I got it on camera really nicely and I got some good angles, so here's the video to that. One screw here, excuse my car being filthy. You can use a 10 mil for this or a Phillips. It is kind of a tight spot if you don't have your wheel off or your wheel turned, so I use this kind of right angled Phillips. And then once you get this one off, there is right under my side skirt, there is a push clip right there, or sorry, a pop clip, I guess. You pop the top out and you can pull it right out. So there's one of these, and then I think there's like, I'm not sure, I think like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 along the bottom of these same type of pop clips. They're just much bigger. You pop the top off and you yank them out, and they run all along the bottom. And there's some of those, like I said, all along the bottom until you get to the back side right here where there's one more Phillips, and then underneath there is a pop clip right here and a screw right there that you have to unscrew. There's one more screw that holds on this little mud guard thing. You don't have to take that one off, that's back there. These are the only 2 you have to take off under here. Besides all those clips and screws, you pop open your door, and there's going to be one of these covers you have to pop off, and there'll be a little Phillips screw inside of there, and there'll also be another cover right here. Same type of thing. You pop it off with a little flathead, and there's a Phillips inside. And once you get those two off, these side skirts are ready to come off. They're just held with, I think, like 8-ish little clips. So all you got to do is pull it, and the clips will pop right out, and they run all along the length of the side skirt. All right, I got my side skirt off. Actually pretty good condition. I forgot what it looks like because I had this whole side skirt on top of here. It's pretty good. A couple rock chips, nothing crazy. So this is what your side skirt should look like if you have nothing on it. I removed my aftermarket one that I had on here. So this is what it looks like, all OEM. And we can get to lining up and installing the new one. So pretty much what's going to happen is we're going to line up the aftermarket side skirt to the OEM one, and we're going to find points where there's enough space to get a nut and a bolt with a washer on it to clamp it together pretty much. If it's a weird spot, then you can move down a couple inches and find the best spot, and that's why it's kind of easier to take off the OEM side skirt. So you can kind of look behind it and find the best, most proper spot to secure it. So I have 1-inch long and 2-inch long bolts because there are some parts where I think I'm going to have to use this kind of longer one just because it takes a little bit more space to meet with the nut, and I'm going to use washers where I need to, but pretty much I'm going to pre-drill with a drill bit and then feed these through and nut and washer it, and I'll show you along the way. All right, so I got the new side skirt laid out next to this one, and this is kind of overkill, but because I only have one hand, I'm going to use these, but I'm going to use clamps to clamp it into place so I can kind of get a feel of where it needs to go instead of squeezing it with my two hands because I don't have two hands. But I got my hardware all over here, and I'm just going to kind of feel it out as I go. So I'm kind of eyeballing it and lining it up right now, but this side skirt design is actually pretty genius. They have these little indents every so often to make room for those caps that you have to take out. It seems like the only real modification we're going to have to do is I'm just going to drill a hole the size of this hole right here so we can get that hardware that we need to reinstall it back through there. Other than that, it seems like it fits pretty nicely. The front right here lines up pretty nice. I'm trying to figure out where I kind of want to put it, if I want to place it here or here. But overall, it looks like it's fitting pretty well if I have it lined up. So let me line it up and I'll clamp it and I'll kind of show you where I'm going to start. All right, so I kind of have it clamped on where it should sit. And wow, this side skirt design is actually, like I said earlier, pretty genius. It starts low right here and then it comes up high. Well, this gap right there won't. It should be like this when I have it all said and done. But it comes up high and perches and sits with the end, or sits and meets with the side skirt. It actually looks really nice. And in the back here, I have it clamped right there, but once this is nice and together, it's not actually touching right here, but it's very close and it lines up very nicely. I'm actually very satisfied with how these side skirts are fitting, and it's looking pretty good. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a couple spots. I think I'm going to do 6 total nuts and bolts on either side, but pretty much what's going to happen is I'm going to pick a spot like here, maybe here, here, but I evidently want them to be kind of evenly spaced out and pulling this aftermarket one to the OEM one without leaving any gaps. So like I said about the long bolts, the reason why I think I might need that is because there's a big ridge right here, and as you can see where I had my old side skirts, it's kind of hard to get a nut onto there if the bolt is very short. You might have to drill at a kind of interesting spot in order to get a nut and bolt into there, but it is doable. A little side note, well, if you're messing with drill bits, be a little careful because they will cut you. So you're going to see a bandit on my finger throughout the rest of this video. All right, so I just lined the skirt up with my OEM one, how I like where I wanted this hole to go. So it's right there, you can kind of see it. And I'm going to feed this bolt through it and with a washer on it, and then I'm going to get a nut on this side, and I'm going to do that in 3 spots along this until I have it where I'd like it, and then I'm going to put the last 3 nuts and bolts along it so it's not going to go anywhere. All right, I got the first 3 nuts and bolts on. Here's the first one towards the back, the second one right in the middle, and the third one, which is actually the first one I did, right there. So from here, I'm going to do 3 more spots, probably somewhere in the middle-ish of the 3 I already put. Somewhere I'll find a good spot for it, and I'll show you guys once I've done it. And with the first 3 ones I just did, this is like the lining up of the side skirt. So you're pretty much going to hold the side skirt right where you want it, align it perfectly down here, and then drill through it with the drill bit, and that's going to get your hole perfect for your bolt to go through so it holds it securely. Right now with these 3, they're like really secure. This is not going anywhere. But the other 3 that I'm going to do are kind of just to fix the slight gaps of light you can see through it, like right down there. We don't want to see that, so I'll put one right over there. And yeah, this is very secure. And then I'll remove the clamps once I'm done with all 6, and it will be almost good to go. Okay, this side now has its 6 nuts and bolts running along, and as you can see, let's see if I can get the angle. The fin is not touching the car, the side skirt, which is good because we don't want paint damage. So if I can tilt this a little bit, this is what it looks like. Looks really good. Oh, I can actually lean it on this. Dang. Yeah, I'm really liking it. And then actually from here, pretty much what you're gonna do after I drill this hole out right there so I can still use that hardware is reinstall it. It's pretty much that easy. If you want to use self-tapping screws, which look like this, they have a little, almost like a drill bit at the front, and then once that drill bit makes it through, it's a screw. You can go ahead and do that. I still recommend taking them off and using this type of method where you secure a couple and then fix the rest of it on with some more. Nuts and bolts are a little overkill, but it will not come off and it will hold it very sturdy. You can get it super tight, so it makes it super seamless, where with self-tapping screws, if you did too tight, you could strip it. So I definitely recommend this method. And if you're curious, this hole right here is a 5/16 drill bit, and that's all you need to make it go through the aftermarket side skirt. Perfect, just like OEM. And the reverse process gets the side skirt back onto the car and should be solid. I'm gonna go ahead and put this right back on, and then off camera I'm gonna do the other side of the car, and I'll get back to you once it's all set. Just like that, I have it reinstalled and it is looking good. I did both sides, as you can see, and I absolutely love how it looks. I think this is my best paint job that I've done. I painted all my parts, but it just gradually gets better, and these are probably the best ones that I've done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Look at that. Oh yeah, I like it a lot. Let me get it on the ground and get a better look at it. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Dang. And you might be able to tell, but they're already shiny and protected because, like every new part I put on my car, I ceramic coated it already. Dang. Yeah, I really enjoy how this looks. It matches the rest of my lip kit perfectly. Not too hard of an install. It just takes a little time and a little effort since you want to get it looking perfect and lined up correctly. Look at that. And the fitment of it is just so good. It lines so nicely up with the OEM side skirts, and I definitely like these ones a little bit more than my old ones, which are right there. I don't know, I think I just like the thinness of the OEM side skirt, and then this additional little wing on there. It's just a little bit more my taste. Nothing wrong with those other ones. I think I'm just a fan of this one a little bit more. Let's go ahead to this side. Ooh-wee. Yeah. That looks good. Well, I hope this video helped answer some questions you might have had about the best way to install some side skirts and how to install them. And I tried to do my best I can at explaining what I did as I did it. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll make sure to address every one of them. If you just want to say hi, leave it in the comments. I'll say hi back. I'm on Instagram, of course, at gray_3is. Check me out on there if you haven't already. I'd love to talk with anyone. I'm always on there. I'm at like 6,200 followers on Instagram, which is insane. And a big chunk of that is you guys on here. So thank you so much. Let me know in the comments section if you have any specific video that you'd like to see from me that I haven't made already. If you're new here, welcome, hello. I'm going to make many more videos this year. I'm excited to see what this year has for all of us. And I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. This has been Mr. Gray3is, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Walking